welcome back to another episode of Late Entry. I got Nolan.
What up, though?
Got Kyle.
How we doing?
And your host, Double Dose. Want to start the
With the
episode
most.
out? Want to start the episode out by giving a shout out to Buck for it being her birthday. So that's why she's not with us tonight.
Happy birthday to Buck.
Happy birthday, Buck.
Happy birthday, Buck. And also, shout out to WMU for being the hockey champions. Nolan, you want to say anything about that?
Michigan.
Dude, fucking national champions, Division One in one of the major four sports in the U.S. I honestly never thought that this day would have come. It feels amazing. I tried to get a hat online the next day, sold out. Everybody was riding for the Broncos across the whole country. Holy shit, what a time to be a Bronco.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Shout out our alma maters. Kind of makes me think about like back to when College Game Day came because we had the undefeated season, but they weren't able to close the deal. So this time they actually did. So I'm very happy, very proud of them. Congratulations, Broncos.
Agreed. No, I actually have a neighbor that I talk to on a regular basis. Had no idea he was a Western Michigan fan. I have to assume that's his alma mater because yesterday morning I saw him outside at like 7:30 in the morning when I was packing up my work truck, and he was putting up a Western flag. I've never seen him have a Western flag out in his yard. And he's putting that shit up, and he's letting that shit ride right now. So I'm happy for him. I mean, that's probably what I would do as an Oakland University alum. Like, no one would know I went there. But the second we did something great like that, I'm shouting to the freaking rooftops, man. I'm riding that.
That's awesome.
Man, they look like they were having a good time in Kalamazoo, too. Burning
I
couches.
saw those burned couches. Hell yeah. It looked like they were going off. Nothing has changed over there. And it was house crawl this weekend, so I'm sure double trouble, man.
Yeah. I'm sure the cops just gave up. What do you guys know where the origin of that is? Like why people started burning couches like after big wins?
I think it's just white people like to burn shit, honestly.
I guess a couch is better than a cross.
To supplement Nolan's point, the first places I started seeing it were Central and State when they would win big rivalry games. It was just like you'd burn a couch and you'd pull the field goal post down, like in your own city. And I always thought that was weird, like burn your own town down sometimes. But like, hey, I mean, I was a drunk college kid once. Everything sounds like a good idea to you once.
True, that's very true.
It's like when Tennessee took the goalpost and threw him in the river. That was awesome.
Yeah, just legendary stuff. Like they're trying to, they're creating their own memories. So I guess that's become the cliche way to do that is the burning couches.
That's true. Tonight we're gonna get into a little bit of a preview of the NBA playoffs. Going to briefly touch on the WNBA draft and the Masters. Gonna talk about some Nico Lamaleava. Nope, I fucked it up.
Damn, so close.
What is it?
Lamaleava.
Lamaleava. Thank you. Gonna do white rapper Mount Rushmore, and some funny posts.
White Mount Rushmore. Wait, that's Mount Rushmore.
That's a good ass point. Okay, so NBA playoffs are here officially. Play-in starts tonight. So I know as we were recording, the Magic and the Hawks, I think, are playing. And then
it became a close game too. It's neck and neck.
Okay.
Yeah.
I personally don't really give a fuck about either of those teams, nor do I think either of them are making a run. So,
bro, what if they call Mac McClung? Oh wait, he's already off the playoff. He's going for the finals in the G League though. He's trying to win the finals in the G League right now.
Hey, shout out Mac McClung. But yeah, so I don't think we have anything to really talk about with that. Warriors Grizz tonight. What you guys thinking? Don't all go at once.
I want to see the Warriors win. I want to see Steph win. I always want to see Steph win. So That being said, there could be a grenade going in the crowd, one or two tonight, so who knows? It wouldn't be over for either one of them. Like, they could still obviously win the next game. But yeah, I want to see the Warriors win.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with you. I did see that the Warriors are giving out bulletproof vests to fans in the crowd tonight.
You just knocked out my funny post for tonight. It was Warriors show. Yo had a posted a picture of their starting five with a bulletproof vest and said game ready.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a phenomenal game. It's a crazy matchup to have in one of these play-in rounds, especially with the shit teams that are facing off in the East. The East is almost a guaranteed, first-round exit, even if they do make it. I think that these teams in the West legitimately have a shot against the 1 and 2 seeds.
Do you think that
the Warriors? If the Warriors win, I think they could take down. They'd be playing the 7 seed. No, the 2 seed.
Okay.
So I think they got a shot.
Do you think that?
So they'd be playing Houston, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I guess that's a good point because I could see either team taking out Houston. That's a good point. I'm with you guys. I want the Warriors to win. I think that the playoffs are better when you've got Steph Curry. Excuse me. And Jimmy Butler's on the team now, so they've had a nice run to close the season out. Although they had a few fuck-ups at the very end of the season. But yeah, and I think that the Warriors could knock out Houston, so it'd be interesting to see them in it still. You never want to see like an all-time great go out early.
Yeah, like KD.
I wasn't gonna say it. It was exactly in my mind.
Look, hey, if he was on that Warriors team, they wouldn't be in the play-in. But
hashtag too soon.
Lakers versus Wolves. Who you guys got? Oh yeah, so that's play in, and then the next 4 that we're gonna talk about play on Saturday. Okay, so yeah, Lakers versus Wolves. Kyle.
Shoot. Lakers versus Wolves. The Heat beat the Bulls. I've been smoking lots of bowls. Lakers in 5.
Lakers in 5. Love it.
Do you honestly believe 5 games?
No, I haven't been smoking. No. Oh yeah, that. No, I think they'll win the series. I can see 5 or 6 though.
5 or 6. No, what you think?
Hopefully it's not a 7-game series because it'd be nice to see LeBron and Luka move on pretty quick. And I mean, you already know, Ant's got that dog in him. It's gonna be hard to tame that motherfucker. Hopefully the Lakers D is really gonna step up on that, and hopefully they can get around Mr. Gobert, Mr. Defensive Player of the Year.
I'm thinking Minnesota, Motorbocha, Don't You Know Lakers in 5. I don't know if it's gonna be 5 though. I could see it being like 6 or 7 to be honest with you.
Yeah, I could too. I
think I've said this before, but since last year, I would say Anthony Edwards is probably like my 3rd favorite player in the league. And I'm sad, honestly, that they're matched up with the Lakers because that's where 1 and 2 for me are. So I wanted to see Anthony Edwards try to make another deep run like he did last year. I thought that was one of the most exciting storylines from last playoffs. Was that the Timberwolves were just out here just killing KD, killing Jokic. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's going after big dogs and sending them home. I think that was crazy. And so, honestly, I'm scared of the Lakers playing them. Obviously, I think that the Lakers will survive and win, but, I mean, that's a nasty motherfucker to have to go up against for your first round. Like,
That's a very tough first-round matchup.
I would have way rather than play against, like, the Rockets or something. Like, you know what I mean? I think that the Rockets have the ability to get, sunned.
Shit, or even the Clippers, I think they could take.
I don't. We're going to talk about the Clippers in a second, but I think I'd maybe rather do the Timberwolves than the Clippers. But we'll get to the Clips in a sec. But yeah, man, I don't know. Anthony Edwards just has that absolute dog in him. It wouldn't surprise me for him to take over like a game or two. I just don't know if he can get 4 off of him. It's gonna be.
And he hasn't been that same takeover artist that he was last year. Like he's been good, but he wasn't. He hasn't been. And I'm not trying to take anything away from him. He's been an amazing player through the season, but yeah, I mean it's just like their record shows like he hasn't been able to carry them in the same way he could last year.
Yeah, and we'll probably revisit this when the series ends, and hopefully it ends in the Lakers' favor, but it's very mind-blowing to me that the Wolves organization was like, all right, we made a super deep run last season. Let's blow it up this season. And then trade Cat for Julius Randle, which I feel like has not been good. So we'll see.
For either team, I think.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I feel like New York probably won that, don't you think?
And in the end, they did. They still got a couple other pieces to build around with Cat and Brunson as well, though.
That's true. But yeah, I think it's gonna be. I think this series will be a big like Julius Randle, Gobert, like legacy series. To be honest with you, because I feel like Randle has kind of already been like not known for being huge in the playoffs, and Ant is gonna need some help. I think Gobert is probably going to get targeted. The Lakers don't have a super big. Jackson Hayes is their best one, so I think they're going to play small ball, like Warriors-esque small ball, and I think that they're going to out-athletic Gobert and see him as food, kind of like Clippers did Reggie Jackson in the playoffs a few years ago. I think that Luka and Austin Reeves and LeBron are going to get whatever they want on him.
That's a fair take. Luka, I think, is going to be going off in this series. I think he is so hungry to get back in the playoffs. That's why I think the Lakers are going to end up taking this one in probably 6 or 7 games.
Yeah, I think that Ant is great. I just think that it's kind of like LeBron versus Warriors-esque. Like you've got a whole team versus like one dude. So he'd have to be incredibly special to win more than. I think just getting 2 games. I think is going to be like him over exceeding what their team should be able to do in this matchup.
And I think even as hard as it was for LeBron to do what he did, like it would even be harder for LeBron in his prime to do this now with where the league's at, because we've even moved at a faster pace by 5-6 more years, 7 more years, and yeah, it's just the game's moving so much faster. There's so many more power teams in the league.
Yeah. Clippers versus Nuggets. So I know we just talked about this a second ago. I think the Clippers are dangerous. And I know that I feel like a lot of people are kind of like coming around to that at the end of the season. If Kawhi stays healthy, James Harden has been balling, Kawhi's been balling, they got Zubac. Like, I would be scared of them. And I would be more scared of Zubac as a center than I would have, like, Rudy Gobert, for example. So...
Oh, 100%.
Where Gobert, I feel like you can have him. I feel like Zubac is like, we're a team with no center or no real true big. I feel like they'd be concerned. Which people have talked about, like, how is that going to work out with, like, Jokic and Zubac? Like, if Jokic is playing so much defense on Zubac, will he be able to be the offensive mastermind that he's been? What do you guys think?
I think yes. I still think Jokic is going to be running point. I think should have been the MVP. Well, he's not the MVP. They haven't announced it yet. But they did all their voting and stuff this week, so we're going to find out in a week or two who the MVP was. Most likely SGA. But I think kind of lit a fire under his ass. Maybe. I know he still shows that he doesn't really care about those accolades and stuff like that, but I think it'll hit him personal. And that is also the other weird thing about Denver. They fired their coach last week. We did touch on that, and I think that could really hurt them. Outside of Jokic, who I think has the ability to get it done, God, just thinking about them firing their coach really made me turn and make me want to take the Clips in this series.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I think that I've got Clippers winning it. I could see it going 7. But I think that Ty Lue is an exceptional head coach, and David Adelman, I believe, is this fill-in coach for the Nuggets. If I'm not mistaken, he's a first-time head coach. and he's coached for like a week before going to be coaching in a playoff series. I don't think it's going to go well for them. Kyle?
Team chemistry at an all-time low. Yeah, it's gonna be tough for him.
Are you switching then, Nolan?
Yeah.
Are you locking in Clips?
I'm locking in on the Clippers.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the Nuggets here. I just the Joker factor is too much for me. Like I can't count against him. He was writing up plays. He literally like jumped in front of Adelman last week and started jumping on the clipboard. Like Nolan just said, he's got a fire lit under his ass right now. He wants to carry this team definitely through this series. And honestly, I think he wants to prove a point that I think he wants to prove a point without saying he wants to prove a point that he is one of the best. And I think if he does this, I think maybe this is starting to tell me, like after seeing the clipboard clip, I didn't see it when we recorded last episode, but like maybe he was so fed up with the coach and he was kind of like me or him. And yeah, I don't know. The coach talked a lot about laziness, and a lot of what Jokic is like seems lazy, but he isn't. Like he's very disciplined, but on the outside it seems lazy. So maybe the coach didn't quite get Jokic's work method. I don't know. Give me Nuggets in 7.
All right.
Okay. Nolan, you've got.
I'm not going to try to rhyme with 7. So.
Nolan, how many games are you thinking?
I'm going Clips in 6.
Okay. I'm thinking I'm between 6 and 7, but yeah, I'll say Clips in 7.
All right.
All right.
Loser takes a hot sauce shot.
Hell no.
I'm just kidding.
Yo, that's what we should have done.
I'm the last person that should be waging that too.
We should have done a bracket, an NBA playoffs bracket.
We can still do it next episode if we wanted
after
to.
After play-ins, yeah.
That's something to consider. Let's talk about that some more off air. See, that might be.
Comment down below if you want us to do a bracket.
Yeah, we could talk about that for sure. Yeah, leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. Okay, Pistons and Knicks. I know this is the hometown one. Nolan, you specifically, I think 2 weeks ago, called out this is what you wanted.
Yep. And I think we have the best matchup possible because Cade Cunningham is going to be the best player on the floor. I think that the Pistons have a great team around them, and I think that they match up extremely well against the Knicks. They took the series 3-1 this year in the regular season. I think Jalen Brunson is going to shrink up. He's going to go small. I think he's going to be stopped. It'll be interesting to see how, especially if Sar Thompson plays. A lot of these guys are in their first playoff series, so we already know Beef Stew is going to step up. He's going to have the MSG crowd booing him, I'm sure. So I got Pistons in 6.
Kyle?
Sweet.
Stop.
4-0.
For real?
Sweet. Why not? Let's have some fun, sweet. I mean, I don't necessarily think that, but I think the world of my Pistons. And I know they've been sliding, but I almost feel like they only got complacent because they were looking a little too far ahead to the playoffs. And now we're here. So now it's go time, and I think the boys are ready. So I don't got a rhyme for you. I ain't going to try to make it sound fly to you, but Pistons gonna sweep that shit like Cinderella.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I think that we should just tell Isaiah Stewart will pay his fines. I think that he should just fucking take out Brunson in the first game and they can both just miss the rest of the series.
Or take out
Nancy Kerrigan, his ass.
No, but for real, I think you guys are underestimating the Pistons, and especially Brunson. Just from what I've seen from him in previous playoffs, I feel like he's another person I'm scared of. But
no, they were the team that made a run last year, right? Like they were the guys that were like, oh shit, look out for the Knicks. That's
Yeah.
who the Pistons are going to be this year, my guy.
Okay. I'm still taking the Pistons, but I think it's going to be like 6 or 7. I'll go with 7. I don't think the Pistons are just going to fold.
Or the Knicks are just
I'm
going to
sorry.
fold.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, I don't think the Knicks are just going to fold. I don't know. I know that you guys said you'd rather see them than the Pacers.
Sounds like you want to go with the Knicks. It sounds like.
No, I'm just the Pistons. The Pistons are very unproven. And
Very young.
Very young. They haven't been there before. Jalen Brunson just put on a masterclass last playoffs, and they really got stopped by injuries. I mean, their whole team just fell apart through injuries through their loss to, I think, the Pacers last season, like to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. And I mean, Brunson even got hurt in the final game. So I'm rooting at heart for the Pistons. I'm going to pick the Pistons in 7. I'm just saying the Knicks give me cause for pause.
I'm just hoping it gets to at least 6 games because I already bought my tickets to Game 6.
Oh, shit. Okay. Hell yeah. That's awesome.
That's my guy.
That's awesome. We're going to have a late entry episode live from the playoff
LCA,
game.
baby.
It's going to be you just holding your phone up.
Holy shit. This isn't even close anymore. 4 minutes left, 114-88. Orlando over Atlanta.
Damn.
Yeah, Atlanta's going to have to go play the winner of the next game.
That fourth quarter was fucking nuts.
That is crazy.
Orlando pulled away.
Oh, yeah.
So it looks like they're going to be playing the 2 seed.
Yep, Orlando will be playing the Celtics.
Okay.
Good luck to them.
Yeah, they're done.
Good luck to both of those teams. That's going to be a fun series.
They might get swept.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay, last Saturday.
Jalen Suggs. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Last Saturday matchup, Pacers and Bucks. What do you guys think?
Got to trust in Giannis. However, with Dame being out and the Pacers looking like more of a full team, I think the Pacers are probably going to take this one in 5 or 6 games.
I actually completely agree. Yeah, I think they're a more complete team, and they're a little bit more advanced than where the Pistons were going against Giannis a week ago, and it's a playoff match. I think it's no contest going to the Pacers.
Really? Everybody loves the Pacers, and I guess I just have not wrapped my head around it. Maybe I haven't watched enough Pacers games. Last season,
We watched too much Midwest ball, I guess.
A lot of Midwest ball.
Last season, the Pacers got through the playoffs literally through playing completely injured teams the entire playoff season, and then got destroyed by the Celtics. They played the
And
Bucks.
what are the Bucks right now?
Injured, but they didn't have Giannis or Dame last season, and I remember watching Chris Middleton just firing 3 after 3 back, trying to keep them in it into triple overtime or something for whatever game the elimination game was. And then they played I thought it was someone else too, and then they played the Knicks when they had injuries. So I don't know. I feel like I've never just been a big Pacers believer. I'm gonna go ahead and. I think that they can do it still. I'm not trying to downplay the Pacers being good. They're in the playoffs for a reason. But Giannis has been on a tear. He's been, I think, hitting a triple-double the last 4, 5, 6 games to close the season out. I think Giannis is highly motivated. And I'm thinking maybe if we can get a step up from Kuzma or something like that. We'll see. I'm thinking Bucks and 7.
Okay.
I don't think either team is going out quietly.
I'll take Pacers in 7.
I'm going Pacers in 5 still.
Okay.
You kind of convinced me a little bit. I think there's going to be some pushback, so I'm going to concede to 7. But
I wish that they had Dame. It's crazy. 2 seasons in a row, no Dame for the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta be reliable.
I hope that we don't have to start having some hard conversations about Dame next year. Because
I started having those conversations 2 years ago, honestly.
I won't. I was gonna say I won't fight you as hard on the Dame conversations as I did last week.
Dame, he was just a flamethrower with the Pacers, or not the Pacers. I'm sorry, the Trailblazers. I was so excited to see him go to a contender like the Bucks, and I was like, all right, hell yeah, like let's see what they can do together. People are talking about now, like if this doesn't go well, like is Giannis gonna want out? So we'll see. I think there's a lot riding on this for them, and I think that Giannis could be good for one playoff series. They'll lose to whoever they play next.
Yeah. Depends on the fire lit under that ass.
True.
On that note, I know we aren't talking about it, but could the Mavs players like pull some weird run out and get into the actual playoffs? You know, like they got the Kings. That would be tomorrow, and then they'd have to face the winner or the loser of Grizzlies Warriors, and then they could face OKC. Do we think that they have a chance?
It's a lot of work to do just to get swept by OKC.
I know. They're going to play. Oh, shit. All right. Never mind.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
All right. It was a good run. They're going to celebrate. It's all right.
I don't think it matters. I think that whoever comes out, whoever's playing OKC is getting sent home first round. Like, that's the whole play-in seems inconsequential to me in that aspect of those teams. I think that Warriors can beat Rockets in that part of it, but I'm saying the other side, whoever's playing the Thunder, they're getting sent home.
You don't think the Warriors good? I think they're playing some of their best ball here towards the end of the season.
Could beat OKC if they have to play them?
It's fucking Steph in the playoffs.
Take the Thunder.
And Jimmy Butler.
Take the Thunder in 6.
I don't know, man. Playoff Jimmy.
You're telling
some doubt out there.
Okay, hold on. I did forget about playoff Jimmy. That boy is a fucking dog. Thunder in 7. I'll give them an extra game. I think
one more game.
I think that the Lakers and the Clippers are the only teams that I can see beating the Thunder. Personally.
Okay.
Wow. 2 months ago, you were worried about the Lakers beating the Nuggets, and now you're calling the Nuggets.
No.
In the first round.
I told you that the Lakers don't match up well with the Nuggets because of Jokic. I told you then I thought the Lakers could beat. I told you the Lakers could beat the Thunder before. I said that the only team that concerns me. I said this months ago. The only team that concerns me for the Lakers is the Nuggets. They don't match up well.
All right. Good clear up.
But yeah, I'm thinking that the Thunder are gonna fuck up like anybody else, other than maybe the Clippers. The Clippers play really good defense, and they've got.
And they don't call ticky-tacky fouls in the NBA playoffs like they do during the regular season. So the free throw merchant's only going to be scoring 22 points a game.
Well, you've got a free throw merchant on both sides of that matchup if it's Clippers versus Thunder. You've got SGA and Harden.
Yeah, but Harden's game has changed a lot since his pump fake throw himself in on the 3. So
yes, I mean that's true. I like the Lakers' chances of making a nice run too. I'm just saying I could see the Clippers as well. But yeah, Warriors versus Thunder, I don't think so. I can see maybe 7. But if they're able to knock off the Thunder, then the door's completely open. I don't know.
All right.
Anything else?
That's why they call it the playoffs, baby.
Yeah. What's interesting? What's cool about like them having a 7-game series is the best team usually wins. It's not like football or March Madness where you just got to beat someone for a game. You got to beat them 4 times. Yeah. So that's where
NBA playoffs is fucking exhilarating. It's by far my favorite postseason, even better than the NFL in my opinion.
Really, I like them both.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I could pick a favorite. NFL regular season over NBA regular season, but the playoffs I think are
1,000,000%.
Eye to eye to me.
I think just because I follow the NFL regular season as intently as I do, and I follow literally all 32 teams all the way through, like the playoffs have that much more stake to me personally. Like every team, I follow every team. I don't love every team, but I follow players from every team in the NFL. I don't necessarily do that in the NBA.
It's because of fantasy football.
It kind of this moment is like what kind of shit, like especially with us starting a sports show. Like you see these like 18 teams and you're like, or 20 teams and you're like, who the hell is gonna win out of the? Like they're all good, And, like, yeah, all of them have holes, and, like, you can weed out a couple. But you get down, and it's like, man, I can't wait to see what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know we have our takes, and the Lakers should beat the Timberwolves. But like you just said, Anthony Edwards could go crazy. And the Warriors should be nothing right now. But playoff Jimmy and playoff Steph. Like, there's so many intangibles that come into the postseason that just make every sport so much fun. I can't wait.
Absolutely. And I feel like it's often that you see, like, everyone takes their game to the next level, so like a star being born, like Anthony Edwards last season, where
yes,
obviously we knew who Anthony Edwards was, but him being on a prime game that the whole country's watching, and he's giving work to Kevin Durant, he's giving work to Jokic, and you're like, oh shit, who is this guy? He's doing this? I'm excited to see if we have a story like that this season.
Holy shit, I do have to point out,
yeah,
they just cut from the other playing game straight into the tip-off. That was a pretty phenomenal transition.
Damn.
Straight into the Golden State game?
Yes.
That's awesome.
I'll real quick before we move on from the NBA. Don't sleep on what if that surprise story. What if I get vindicated? What if Austin Reeves is the one?
Oh my god. We're gonna be stuck on that Austin Reeves as the 3 all the way until Buck has time to come back and defend her side.
All right.
The worst part is like I'm really not arguing against. I'm not arguing against the potential of it. Like I see what Spencer's saying, and so I'm just like, I'm not gonna say shit against him until the end of this season, and then if the Lakers lose in 4, then I can shit.
Austin Reeves dropping 30 points a game, but they still get swept.
Yeah.
Oh my god. WNBA draft was last night. Shout out Paige Bueckers, went number 1. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But she went to Dallas. I think the Wings is the name of their team.
The Wings, yep.
Yes, okay. Yeah, so, Dallas can rejoice. They got a new star back in the city.
They got mini Luka now.
Yeah. And then I'm personally excited. Hailey Van Lith got drafted by the Chicago Sky. So, obviously, I think everyone knows that's where I live. So, I want to go see a WNBA game at some point. Even more now, like a Sky game. But Hailey Van Lith has a reunion with Angel Reese, who they played together at LSU. I know they're both said, at least, that they're excited for that. So, we'll see. I'm excited to see how that goes. Any thoughts from you guys?
It's going to be cool that you're going to be able to go watch Angel Reese play Caitlin Clark in Chicago. That should be a pretty fun game to go to. Tickets are expensive, dog. Oh, yeah. I bet tickets for that game are probably over $100.
Yeah. Kyle?
I thought that was good for the league. I think Paige is good for the league. I think Hailey's good for the league. I think this whole class is going to help the WNBA grow. I'm really intrigued to see how the number 2 pick turns out. She's a girl from Europe, Malanga, from, I believe, France. She's got really nice size. She's 6'7", and she's got a smooth jump shot. So I'm excited to see how she adapts to U.S. soil. She's got a teammate, Gabby, I believe Gabby Williams. Yeah, she's got a teammate from France on her team. So
that French connection.
I'm really excited to see what she could do in the WNBA. She's been dunking since she was 16.
Oh, holy shit. Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I would love a dunk.
So we might end up seeing one of the, newer faces of the league kind of getting swept under the rug because Paige is as good as she is, which no fault to Paige. I mean, she's great and can't wait to see her career. But yeah, I just saw an article about Malanga, and I was like, let's see what this tall girl's got.
Wait, to clarify, the dunker is her teammate or the one that got drafted?
The one that got drafted.
Okay.
Oh, the Malanga. Yeah.
Malanga,
she's the dunker.
You said 6'7"?
Yeah, the teammate. Yeah, I believe they said she's 6'7".
Okay. Wow. All right.
That should be pretty fun to watch.
You two 35-year-old dads, tell us about the most boring shit that happened over the weekend.
This was by far not the most boring shit. This
I'm just kidding.
Only thing
I'm kidding.
That everybody across the United States was watching on Sunday. And it was Rory McIlroy battling against, at first, Bryson DeChambeau, turned into Justin Rose, and just going bogey for birdie for bogey for birdie. A huge up and down finishes. Congratulations to Rory for completing the career Grand Slam. Holy shit. Couldn't have happened in a more entertaining way.
He almost blew it.
What was that?
He almost blew it. He almost choked it away.
He was so close to blowing it, but just got to trust in the Roars.
So, yeah, nobody has ever won a Masters tournament with 3 double bogeys on the weekend. Rory had 4, and he won. So, as low as the lows got, the highs were as high gets. I got to be happy for Rory. It was a little bittersweet for me. I really did want Bryson to clutch up. I thought it would be cool to see Scotty Scheffler put the green jacket on a Liv guy. Not that Scotty's been outwardly against Liv, but Rory has. So maybe next year we need a Liv guy to win. So Rory has to put that jacket on a Liv guy just to give me that final sweetness. But no, I'm happy for Rory. I've been a fan of him since I was in middle school, and he was coming up, and he was somebody I looked up to and somebody to model the golf game after. Something I'll say about him is that I've tried to get away from in recent years is he hangs on every shot, and that's kind of what I think kept him from his 10-year drought is he hangs, like he's an emotional player, and that's good to an extent, but when you are emotional to the point that you're hanging on to a missed putt, or like even he said in an interview, I want to see Bryson because he beat me last time. It's like, yeah, he beat you over a year ago for a tournament that doesn't matter anymore. Like, move on and fucking win this shit like the great that you're supposed to be. You want to talk about somebody who I thought was going to be really great and didn't end up living up to that potential necessarily. It's Rory McIlroy up until this Masters win. He had a nice 4 or 5 year career, and then he spent 10, 11 years at the top, but not winning. And I wanted to see more from him. We finally got it. I was almost emotional for him at watching my TV too, because I was happy for him, and I know how much the Masters means to somebody that's been working for it for that long. But yeah, I don't know. I've got some differences of what I think are good for the game as far as like the Live Tour to Rory. So I've started to drift off of my fandom from him over the last like 6-7 years, or 4 or 5 years really. But game recognized game, man. He played a great tournament. He played better than everybody else. He played better than Justin Rose's 10 birdies on Sunday in order to win in that playoff, and birdie on the first hole. That was awesome. So good for Rory.
Question for you guys. So you said, what was the stat you said about the bogeys, Nolan?
He had four
double bogeys this week, or throughout the Masters.
And no one had ever won with more than 3 or more, right?
With 3 or more. Yeah.
So do you think that is an indictment on the competition, that it's gotten worse, or no?
I think it's the Masters. It's always going to be the toughest conditions, toughest players. Everybody wants that fucking green jacket. Everybody's going to be playing at 100%. So for him to be able to turn around after he double bogeyed the first fucking hole on Sunday, gave Bryson, tied him up with the lead, and then Bryson wasn't anywhere close after that hole, but
yeah, he was able to go from that double bogey to even par on the day. I mean, that's or 73. I think he finished 1 over. But to go and deal with that runaround is impressive. And I'll say, like, these courses they're playing are nothing that any casual golfer has ever dealt with, like the conditions and things like that. But to your point, I think the courses have made themselves harder through time.
Okay.
They don't water because they know that the greens are going to get drier and not stick the golf ball as hard. So they're just not going to water for 4 days, and they're going to make you deal with it. There's just like different things they've started doing to the players to make it harder on them through time. But I don't think. But at the same time, like I hear you, because it's like, in my opinion, I was like, man, like 11 under to win in a playoff when you were playing that well, like what the hell happened on Sunday? But I do think the PGA is taking an extreme right now in their conditions and like trying to make themselves as hard as possible, because there's this polarization between them and Liv, and Liv is trying to take care of their golfers, and PGA is trying to stay like, we're top of the line, like we're where you want to be if you're the best in the world. So they're going to make it harder on you. And I think that posed like something I was going to lead into, I won't touch on too much, is that I think that the Live Golf League guys really fell off on the last half of the tournament because they only play 3 rounds per tournament, whereas the PGA plays 4. So they're not used to that next 18. Like Bryson doesn't usually play that Sunday round against Rory, but he was forced to, and he shot 3 over. And Bryson is as conditioned as they come, and he practices more than anybody. But playing like competition 4 days in a row is different than playing 3 days in a row. And the PGA plays more tournaments. Like they have more tournaments a year. So it's just about like availability and how much you're out there practicing and playing. And they're light years ahead of the Live guys, in my opinion. But I do think that Live is good for golf, to throw that in there.
Cool. Anything else you guys want to get off your chest before we keep it pushing?
Can't wait for Tiger Woods to be playing next year in the Masters, that's for sure.
This is like, get us the fuck out of this.
No. It was a big deal. It was a big deal.
I do want to see Tiger back after a year missed. That would be awesome.
You really think that he's got it in him to compete with these guys?
I think the reason
but you
took it off.
You get pretty much an unlimited invite if you win the Masters.
No, but I'm saying,
I'm pretty sure it's like 25 years or something like that.
I'm not
he took the year off because he wants to take this time to train for something like this. And I don't think he's going to win again. No.
Do you think
I just want to see him play.
Do you think he can even be up there as like a contender? Like come Sunday, do you think that he can even be up there or one of the guys that has a chance to win?
We all said no in 2021, and I'm pretty sure he still got it.
2019, and he won it.
My years mixed up.
He shot like 8 under on the last day or 7 under on the last day, and he won it. So I will never count Tiger out the same way I'll never count Mahomes or Tom Brady out. Like, I don't care how old he gets. If he's putting his foot on the line to compete, I won't necessarily put $50 on him to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
That's super fair. Okay, so Nico Lamaleava.
Nico, I'm gonna leave your team, yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so I think that I have a different take from you guys. So I'll go last. Nolan or Kyle, do one of you guys want to explain what's going on with this?
Well, so I'll start. Yeah, he was asking reportedly for $4 million a year, which is like what the top NIL people are making, if that. Like I think actually Bryce Underwood for Michigan is going to be making like 2.5 or 3, and it was one of the more record-breaking contracts amongst college NFL, and for a young quarterback. Lamaleava is an established older quarterback. What I think is that scouts are going to want to see loyalty, and they're going to want to see you working hard for your program that has been busting their ass for you and put you on this pedestal from the second you became the starter. So I just don't get him leaving Tennessee. I don't get. He played amazing. He had a great career there so far. It's like, why are you being a diva right now and asking for more money when the palm of the world is in your hands and the NFL is in your grasp?
Yeah. I fully agree with that. I think that the NIL is completely ruining the college aspect of the NCAA. They're turning it more into the minor leagues. I guess in a way it is the minor leagues for football, but at the same time, just sucks not seeing any loyalty. That money is just dragging people around like crazy. And that's not somebody that I want repping in my quarterback room.
Okay, so the NIL, I mean, it makes sense that to me, I'm a supporter of them getting paid. I think that it should be done a different way. I'll get into that in just a second. The whole loyalty thing, I think, has always been such an unfair take because I feel like it always only applies to players. Even in college and in professional of every sport, coaches leave. Coaches have left in some grimy ways before, too, over money. And it's fine, and they get another jobs, and no one ever says they're unloyal, and they'll get hired again at the next stop. In the pros, a team will sign a contract with you and come back to you the next year and say, hey, we need to restructure this, or we need to do this, or they'll trade you. Like, loyalty is only ever expected from players, and it's not reciprocated by coaches or organizations. So I don't think that, you know what I mean, like a team will, even in college, you know what I mean, like you'll play, you know, if you had not a great year, they'll bring another quarterback for you to replace you. So all that loyalty from a player perspective, it's not reciprocated at all. I think that...
I do have a counter to the coach aspect. The coach is an employee of the school. The coach is not a student or a player at the school.
Yes, but at the end of the day, money talks, period. Even at your current job, if someone comes and offers you the same position with a higher pay, you're giving your 2 weeks to your boss. Like, everyone who makes money operates on the money. None of us work for free, except for this podcast. You know what I mean?
Yes, Spencer, where's my money?
Tell me my check, or I'm going to first take.
Yeah.
I'm about to lose you guys to Barstool. No, but, I mean, that's where I'm at. I think that players over time... I think that they deserve money. They're, especially football, brings
I agree.
It brings in so much.
But he's a first-year starter, dude. It's not like he's been there for 3 years in the grind.
We're gonna get to him in just a second. I'm just talking about the NIL and the money in aspect.
Okay. Okay.
But I'm actually gonna tie these together in a second. I think that they deserve to get paid. I think that they generate so much money, and the fact that they're getting scholarships to play, you know what I mean? And a lot of these players aren't going to college. Like Cardell Jones said before, like, I didn't come here to play school. Like, they're going to play sports. The college is a secondary aspect of that. And I'm not saying what it should be or what we would like to see or anything like that. Like, I'm just talking about what it is. You know what I mean? They're going there, they're working hard to play football, and they're bringing in tons, millions of dollars in revenue for these schools. They deserve a cut of that. Now, where I'll connect these together is the fact that my biggest gripe isn't with Nico, it's with the NCAA. And the fact that they have implemented the way that they make money in the shittiest way possible. They were forced to finally do it, so they said, fuck it, y'all figure it out, and they pushed that on to everybody else. So from Nico's perspective, yeah, I don't care about this loyalty. I don't care about this. I know that I'm making this much money here. From what I understand from me, Spencer, that his valuation was around like $3 million, and there's a few other quarterbacks that are making $4 million. So your value isn't what you're going to pay me. It's what someone will pay me. If I have to go over here to get it, I'll do that. And so what we saw for the first time was a holdout in college, which is unprecedented. Like Nolan said, it makes it seem more like a minor league than like a amateurized sport. But that's where we are. The NCAA handled this poorly, and they left a loophole. Anybody in any job is always looking for loopholes. You mean corporations trying to figure out how to pay less taxes? What if we do this loophole? Everybody is trying to maximize their money by finding a loophole of a way to make more. What there should be is what every sport that makes money and has money involved, a CBA. So then you've got the organizations and the players come together and establish a set of rules. If you're going to do this, if you sign an agreement, you've got to stick this out, or you've got to do this or that. So then both sides benefit from a collectively bargained situation. The other aspect is NIL maybe isn't the right way to do this. Maybe you should be able to make money off the field as well by doing, signing signatures or showing up for events and stuff like that. But that's NIL, that's name, image, likeness. For you to be able to, give college football, like your rights to in a video game, that's your image and likeness. I think it was Dabo Sweeney, I think it was a year or two ago, broke down the best way that they should do it. Every school gets money from their TV deal. That money is distributed as a paycheck to the players. It's broken down, it's regulated. That way the players still get paid. There's regulations. It stops shit like this from happening. I can't blame Nico for doing what anyone in his position would do. I would blame the organization for allowing it to happen like that. What do you guys think?
So I think that the deal that you laid out there with getting the TV money, only the best teams are going to be able to pay, and that's kind of what's going on right now. The teams like the Alabamas, the Michigans, the Ohio States of the college football world, they're getting these mega donors to come in and just dump millions of dollars into the programs.
Wait. Before you continue, though, that's how it's always been pre-NIL, though. If you want to get exposure, you want to go to the league, you're not going to fucking Duke to play football. You're going to Ohio State. You're going to Alabama. It's always been you go to those schools if you want to do that. So yeah, they'd get a bigger pot to pay the players out with, but that wouldn't be any different from 10 years ago.
But that was also because of the coaches and the organizations that were built there. It wasn't necessarily because of, we have more money and we can pay you more than Michigan State, we can pay you more than Northwestern, we can pay you more than whoever the fuck you want to throw in there. But I think that the money needs to be heavily regulated. I think that these players should definitely still be representing the school that they're playing for and not going out representing themselves. I think that's the whole point of college sports and being an amateur in this facet, I guess.
Well, that's even the argument against Bryce Underwood for Michigan this year is he just going to take whatever his guaranteed was after this season and go bounce for his next NIL contract because he has that option? And he does. Like, he can go do that. And he claims right now, no, I'm not going to do that. But who the fuck knows what's going to happen 12 months from now, And and to Spencer's point, like, yeah, and to both of y'all's point, it does need to be regulated so that something like this isn't happening necessarily at the college level, or treat it like a minor league, And I mean, like Spencer really said too, like, yeah, maybe if it were us in this position, we'd be betting on ourselves too. I really do think Nico still has a future. I do think he's going to find his spot. I just think he's putting himself in this position to be this, like, fallen horse for this cause, and I don't want to see him do that because he's a great quarterback, and you're going to put yourself in an Aaron Rodgers position where you're going to be looking for something and no team's going to want to take you because they don't know what they're going to get from you because you didn't show up to optional workouts and your team parted with you and the narrative that's around you. So I just think,
do you remember,
like we were saying earlier, like before off camera, like, I'm not here to be in school, but I need to get through school so I can get to the league.
Do you remember?
I need to get through this phase so I can get a contract. So he needs to land somewhere so he can get a contract.
Do you remember at the beginning of last football season, the exact opposite situation happened? There was a quarterback from Vegas that was promised so much money in an NIL deal, and the school, after 3 games, refused to pay him still, and he bounced.
Two players on the team bounced.
Right. And so what I'm saying is that, you know what I mean, like, the shit is kind of tricky both ways. Sometimes the player is going to choose himself. Sometimes the school is going to hoe you out. I think that we need to, and I understand that there's so many people that feel the way that Nolan does of, like, I miss amateurism. I miss the fact that it was like, everyone who played for the school, bled blue if you go to Michigan or, like, whatever. But I think that we need to just adjust to the fact that we're in 2025 and realize where we are. Like, that we're not going back to that, and I think that they should. I think that this should start being viewed more as a minor league for the NFL. Like that, like we just need to wrap our heads around that. This is where this is going, and start regulating it to where it benefits the schools, benefits the players, and everyone kind of, you know what I mean. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I could see that. How would you feel about the NCAA getting rid of the college football, I guess, as the organization that leads it, and just let somebody else take over these football teams for these schools?
I'd need an idea of what that looks like.
Yeah, I
Like, are
guess.
you saying like NFL starts catering to it a little bit more?
Yeah, like what if the NFL comes in and they start running the league instead of the NCAA?
I think that the NCAA has to continue to do it because there's so many schools and so many divisions. Like, the NFL isn't going to give a fuck about more than, like, 15 schools? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
As a whole. Yeah,
well,
the reason the NFL is there is because there's so many college players that you want to see go to that next level and perform. And so the NFL is there to pick those players that they think, yeah, the Layman's like these guys, but the Layman's didn't even see this guy coming, and Antonio Brown is about to go crazy until he gets CTE from Central. You know, it's just like shit like that. You would have never heard about that dude, and he wouldn't have the Cracker of the Day podcast. But
Hashtag CTESPN.
yeah, well, if you want to, AB, if you give us a listen.
Well, I'm saying, like, do you think that, like Kyle, you went to Oakland? Do you think the NFL really gives a fuck about, like, giving Oakland the same attention they give Ohio State?
Our team we have an intramural team. We aren't even D3. We're like a club football team, so hell no. But our basketball team, like, I hope, and like I've always hoped that some scouts come look at a game or two, and that's exactly what's happened. They look at a game or two, and Kendrick Nunn from the Miami Heat in 2020, shout out, went to Oakland. He was one of our best scorers. He was a transfer from Illinois, but I'm calling him an Oakland alum. Our best NBA or professional sports player that's ever lived. He had a nice long career, followed by Raul Marshall, who I'm sure neither of you guys have ever heard of. He played for like the Grizzlies and yeah, I think it was just the Grizzlies actually for like 4 or 5 years. He got like a rookie contract and then he was bounced. But yeah, we don't have a whole lot of like pro talent. So yeah, I hear you.
I think that you still need a governing body, the independent, like the NCAA, that's focused on just college sports. I just think that they need to stop just being sore losers about the fact that they have to pay players and really sit down and take the time to fucking organize this shit out to where, like, you know, if you've got a contract, this is how this works, this is how this works. Like, you know, you get paid. The fucking school isn't refusing to pay you what they said they were going to pay you. The player's going to play through his contract. You know what I mean? You have it work out in a way that is beneficial to both.
And I do think that there still needs to be a hard cap on how much somebody can make like that too. Like, you're still playing this amateur sport representing this school, and you can't just be fighting around looking for the best fucking paycheck. I think it should be capped at, like, I don't know, $2 million for a quarterback, like $1 million for a running back, like $1 million for anybody else in another position on the line or something like that. But I think that those details need to be ironed out a lot more clear.
If you do that, though, you might wind up really destroying what you love, Nolan, because if it's exactly even across the board, then why wouldn't I go play football at Duke because they don't have a first-string running back already, rather than me be part of a depth in a Michigan or an Ohio State or Alabama? You know what I mean? Like,
I think that's the risk that you take on yourself betting on yourself.
Well, no. What I'm saying is that you might see the schools, the big powerhouse schools that you've loved for the last as long as you've been alive, that you can rely on, like, all right, this is a big game between Ohio State and U of M. Like, their talent might not be the cream of the crop anymore, because if you're saying it's even across the board, some other team can pay those players, so you don't have the wealth of talent at these powerhouses.
But you should also be recruited to these schools for playing for these coaches and organizations and trusting that they can help get you to that next level as well.
At some point, I've got a friend that I want to bring on the show. He's a basketball coach at a high school level. The kids nowadays don't give a fuck about colors, about organizations, about any of that. They're doing, like, he does, like, a AAU and stuff like that. The kids are about, like, how can I make as much money and go to the league? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're switching around in high school, bouncing between schools and stuff like that. Like, that's not going to change and go to college. Like, I think that the days of, like, people being like, you know, like, I'm proud to be a Wolverine, I'm proud to be a Buckeye, like, there's a few of them, yes, but I think that in whole is going to be gone. If you're a star, maybe you're proud to be, like, the quarterback of Ohio State, but if you're, like, a dude coming off the bench or a guy that's trying to, like, I can start here, I can be a bench player here, like, I think that they're going to choose to go over here if I can make the same money.
I get what you're saying, but like a Nico, like this all started with Nico, right? And Nico is the starter. Nico is getting good money in Tennessee. Like you already have a good NIL deal. Like you already have your money. So why are you trying to shake things up? Like you have a great situation around you with coaches that want to build around you for the next year and help you build your draft stock. Why are you not showing up to mandatory workouts?
Didn't Bryce Underwood flip from another?
Off the team.
Didn't Bryce Underwood flip from another school to go to Michigan? He
Yeah.
signed somewhere. Yeah. I'm just saying everyone's doing it. Nico's the first person to hold out. I'm saying. Sure. You know what I mean? Sure. He's the big example because he held out and then he got released. But that's already happened to people flipping.
And I hope, like, for the same reason you hoped KD would win a championship with the OKC, I hope he will win something wherever he goes. I hope he does well and gets to the NFL and gets good draft stock. But to me, the best situation he had was, like, go with who brought you there. You got to the college playoff with this team. Like, stick with them. They're built, like, they want you. Just show up and do the right things. And it doesn't seem like he was doing that, so they got rid of him. Like, it wasn't even really him, too. Like, it was a mutual thing. They didn't want him there anymore because he wasn't showing up. So that just looks bad for draft stock. So like if I'm a college player, I'm trying to keep up my PR too. You know, I'm trying to absolutely make sure I get to the best team, and that didn't help him.
And his PR is taking a hit, regardless of you know, like personal opinions about it. Like his PR is definitely taking a hit, and people are going to look at that, I'm sure. But talent, if you've got the talent can always beat out PR.
And that leads us into our next conversation.
Wait. I do have one more thing that I want to bring out about college football that came out today, and that was the Colorado retiring the numbers for both Shedeur and Travis Hunter. What are your guys' initial thoughts about that? I kind of thought it was whack.
I think that's awesome.
I don't. I'm a huge fan of Dion, huge fan of Shedeur, huge fan of Travis Hunter. What'd you win? Why are you retiring a jersey of someone who didn't win anything?
They never won a fucking bowl game.
That's what I'm agreeing with you. Yeah, they didn't win anything. Like
I think they changed the program. Though.
Neither one of them were even.
That's the only reason I think it's cool.
They didn't even win like a Heisman. Or wait, no. Did Travis Hunter win a Heisman? Didn't he?
Travis won it this year.
Okay. Well,
Travis won the Heisman.
Then there's
put Colorado on the map. Dion put him on the map. Shedeur they're the three people that put him on the map. So I say retire him. Fuck it.
I think it's too soon, and I think that
it is very to do it the year after is definitely too soon. But I see it. I guess if you would have told me, like, even honestly, if you would have even told me before they necessarily even had their first NFL snap, but just give it a little bit of time in between them leaving. Give me 6 months and then say, hey, we're going to have a ceremony on like bowl game 2026 or our next bowl, whatever, or our next senior day, because that's the next guaranteed home game. We're going to honor Shedeur and Travis. I would respect that a little more. But I mean, they're game changers. They changed. I mean, all three of them changed Colorado's franchise as a whole. Who do you know that played at Colorado that went to the NFL?
I don't
know that off the top of my head.
Who do you guys?
I did see a couple
We're about to know too.
I saw a couple comparisons of guys that did play at Colorado, did win bowl games, did make it to the NFL, and their numbers aren't even retired. Like, they did way more for the college fair enough. Than these two did.
Who's the best player?
They're individual.
Who's the best player you guys can think of in college that never won a championship?
What do you mean? Like,
the best?
Just balled out?
Yeah.
Did Lamar didn't win one with Louisville.
No, he didn't.
Do you think that they should retire Lamar's jersey?
I would bet that it is retired. He broke NFL records.
But
I would
for sure.
it's retired.
NFL records, but not
NFL. He broke college records.
He broke college records when he was there too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
he won a Heisman.
Okay.
His number might be retired. I don't know.
So then I think that we're maybe making a bigger point to retire Travis Hunter's jersey, not Shador's.
I would say Travis is before Shador's for sure. Yeah.
He won a Heisman. He played both sides of the ball. That was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, literally nobody's done that in college history. Play as many snaps as he played through a season.
I'm a huge fan of Shador. I think he's going to be a great NFL quarterback. I'm just saying I don't know what was deserved in college to do that. He didn't even play all 4 years there. It's not like he was a 4-year or 3-year like Colorado legend. He did help turn it around. I kind of think it's a way of. I think it's. I don't know. I kind of think it's like a culture setter of like, these are the guys we want you to be going forward. That being said, should they grandfather in some of these greats that did play at Colorado? Yes, but they didn't, and that's a fumble. Like you also honor in, and yeah, I mean, he's brought in some greats to coach with him, and I know Dion has his own ego, and yeah, I don't know. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. No, when we had at Western, we had the season where we went undefeated, right? Do you think that they should retire, I think it was Zach Terrell, his jersey?
Absolutely not. But they should retire Corey Davis's.
Why?
He has the all-time receiving yards in college football history.
He does.
I did not know that, actually. Okay. Well, see, so once again, I think we're making more of an argument to retire Travis Hunter's than Shador's.
I agree.
If that. All right.
I think they should be retired. I think it was too soon. I think both of them should eventually be, probably. And if you're not going to honor the guys ahead of them, what the hell are you doing?
So, something that's been going, we're going to get into some social media stuff with a social media topic and then our funny posts. Something that's been going around trending the last few days is white rapper Mount Rushmore. So, the faces that were on here currently were Eminem, Mac Miller, Paul Wall, and Russ. What do you guys think? Do you like that list? Do you have a different list?
I like two of the guys on there.
Okay.
I'm sorry, repeat it for me one more time.
Eminem, Mac Miller, Paul Wall, Russ.
Okay.
Nolan, what's your list?
So my list definitely starts off with Eminem. And I kind of went a little bit in a different direction with my Mount Rushmore. At number 2, I have Lil Dicky.
Yeah.
Making pretty funny raps.
I knew you were gonna have him.
Really entirely serious, and I'm a super jokeful guy, and I like the wordplay that he got going on. My next one, Weird Al Yankovic. He's not really a rapper, but he's got some fucking.
I can see him up there. So.
Okay.
And then to finish off my Mount Rushmore, I have the one and only Drake. I think he makes the white people music of our time. He loves to play the industry. This is in the comments.
Oh my god. Kyle, what's your fucking Drake?
Well, I don't know if I can follow that. Obviously, I have Eminem leading. Shout out, Marshall. Followed by, actually, the Beastie Boys. They were considered a rap group on Google, so I put them in there. They're kind of more of a rock group.
Oh, my God.
But I don't have a whole lot of white rappers that I'm a fan of. So, sorry, Jack Harlow. Next, I have Atmosphere. It's a rap group, technically, is Atmosphere, but the DJ and the rapper are both white. They came out in 1996. They have some bangers that I listened to in the 2010s. So I'm going to put Atmosphere in there. And then the last one, I'm going to go one half of Logic, because I'm not 100% certain that his dad is who he says he is. So I'm going to take half of him. I'm going to take at least half of him.
We both went with half black guys.
Oh my god. Y'all, hey.
I could have gotten some like ghetto white rappers from like
Oh my god.
I listen to like one song of, but half of Logic is more on brand.
I've got Eminem. I've got Mac Miller. I also have Lil Dicky. Love Lil Dicky, and he
do too.
He made some good ass songs too. Save That Money was a banger.
Yeah, the thing I hate about him is that he only came out with one album and promised more, and then came out with a TV show and promised an album after his TV show, and like
now it's been 3
he's
seasons
just
of
like
a TV show.
yeah, I get right. I don't know. He's not coming out with songs though, so I couldn't put him on there.
It feels like he just used rap to like get into TV and stuff.
1,000.
One of the things that I appreciate about like Mac Miller and Lil Dicky is the fact that they weren't culture vultures of this aspect. I'm not saying that Eminem was. Eminem was like deep into that culture. Like he was like the meme, like, you alright, white boy. Like he was part of the shit. But I feel like Mac and Lil Dicky, like, they're cool with black people, stuff like that, but they're not like trying to be black rappers. Like, you know what I mean? Lil Dicky made fucking raps about being Jewish and saving money and shit like that, and made good music out of it.
Right.
My fourth,
he just had good rhymes, honestly.
Yep. My fourth is, I'm sure, going to be controversial as fuck. And I have an emotional, or like a nostalgic connection back from high school with who I'm about to say. And completely negates the fucking not trying to be something else. This guy is definitely a fucking white trailer trash goofball. My fourth on Mount Rushmore is my fucking Riff Raff. I love Riff Raff, dog. Dolce & Gabbana, banger. He's so goofy. He's so him. He's so him. And two of my favorite, what is it? Is it the Freestyle with Sway or Hot 97, whatever it is Lil Dicky, who just did his, I think, recently. And Riff Raff. Riff Raff had me fucking in tears with this.
Dude, Riff Raff is killer, dude. That's a good one.
That is a good one. That's so fucking funny. I thought you were about to drop a Macklemore with that fucking...
I did too, the build up. Me too. I was like, he's not about to say, when I was in third grade, I thought that was
No, dude. Okay, I forgot that Mac Miller existed. Or not Mac Miller, Macklemore. I forgot he existed. Macklemore had a nice run, too. I enjoyed a lot of his music.
Yeah, he had a little James Harden run in there. Yeah.
He also stole the fuck out of that album of the year from Kendrick and Kanye.
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
Yep.
So the reason I think I even chose Beastie Boys and Atmosphere is because I was kind of looking for people that didn't culture vulture as well, and people that just like were white rappers unapologetically. And yeah, Atmosphere had a song that was all about him getting caught doing graffiti and then getting away with it. And I was like, that's the whitest rap song in the fucking world. So I fucking love this guy.
Oh,
like, you got out of it. Like, you talked your way out of it in the song.
Damn. Yeah, I forgot about Macklemore. I don't think I'd still put him in, but he had some really good songs. I don't mention Macklemore.
But the ceiling can't hold us.
I think he would have been a good addition to my joke list for sure.
Yeah, dog. You guys, half a Drake and half a what was the other
Logic.
one? Logic. That's funny as fuck. All right, y'all. Let's hit these funny posts and bounce out of here to watch this playoff game or the playing game. Nolan, you want to start?
Sure, I'll start. So this one comes from Hayden Winks on Twitter. At Hayden Winks. Schefter just said some random 20-year-old ran up to him while he was at the Masters without his phone and asked him if he heard about the huge NFL trade that just happened. So good.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So, for context, one of the rules at the Masters is that you cannot bring your phone on property.
Yeah.
So some dude just went up and trolled the fuck out of Adam Schefter, and that's fucking amazing.
That is good.
The only comment that I see that's worth really saying is, get that kid a green jacket, he earned it.
That's good.
That is funny.
I've got two. I had three, but no one fucked mine earlier on the Warriors. I'll do one and I'll hand it to you, Kyle, and I'll finish with the other one. At Molly Hannah HM, on Twitter. The Eastern Conference play-in tournament feels like the NBA version of the NIT. It's just fucking some terrible teams in there. You've got the Bulls versus the Heat. Both of them are under 500, I think. It's bad.
Yeah. That's pretty funny.
That's the part of it that's bad for basketball.
Kyle?
All right, yeah. So Paige Bueckers was mic'd up at the WNBA draft, and there was a clip of her walking up to one of the people in her entourage, and she was like, "Get out of my spot, boy!" And she just shoulder checked the shit out of him, and then the second she got picked, or one of her friends got picked, it showed her in her Wings hat going, "Yeah!" And she was like hugging like two of her teammates, and top comment on it was by @Mamula101, and it said, "Black Caitlyn about to go crazy in the W." and then one of the other comments underneath that said, "Damn, the Wings by Neo-MP. Damn, the Wings just became more relevant than the damn Mavericks."
Yeah, true as hell. I don't know if you know, Paige actually has a half black brother. So her parents split up. Her parents split up. Her dad had a kid with a black woman, half black brother. From there, so she got a little seasoning from the crib.
She got a little late seasoning. She had a little salt added on at the
end. So I've got my last one. It's did you guys see that Skip Bayless was on Jubilee? Which, from what I've gathered from seeing clips before, I thought it was only political stuff, but it's like a table in this big ass room with a bunch of people sitting around, and like they'll have one guest come in and just debate everybody who's in the motherfucker. So I usually see it like with political stuff. You'll have like Ben Shapiro was there, and I forgot who the fuck else. I just see clips of it, but they had Skip Bayless there debating people about sports. So literally just come from the crowd, come sit in the seat, and debate Skip Bayless about LeBron, debate Skip Bayless about whatever else. And someone
should name that series high school basketball, or former high school basketballer debates high school basketballers. everybody always talks shit about him, how he never got past the high school level.
1.4 points.
Yeah.
But at Huncho Gambles on Twitter said, "This dead ass why Skip the GOAT. He don't give a fuck. He'll debate anybody." And at English_Shamar said, "Skip purely in it for the love of the game. He's going wherever he's got to go." That motherfucker will literally just pull up anywhere. So true. He's told stories on Undisputed before about how like he'll be out to dinner and someone will like come up and start talking to him, and his wife is just sitting there looking pissed while he'll sit there and debate you for 20 minutes about why it's fuck Bron. Skip is really the fucking debate fucking like GOAT of all time.
Whoever in his
that's why he's so wrinkly. Every argument adds a wrinkle.
Oh my god, like Morgan Freeman gets a freckle every time he explains something. Nolan, what were you going to say?
I was just saying, whoever in his camp sent him over to that YouTube slop did a fucking just phenomenal job.
Oh yeah, that's great.
That's great. That's the best thing. It's just like what Barstool did for John Gruden. They gave this fucked up asshole a platform.
Oh my god.
Yeah, entertaining as hell.
You saw it. Did you guys see John Gruden like a week or two ago just got exposed for liking some girl's booty on fucking Instagram?
I'm not surprised.
Or no, it's Jay Gruden. Jay Gruden, not John.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
Jay Gruden. But yeah,
it was younger, bro.
But Jay Gruden is the Barstool one too.
John Gruden is the Barstool one.
I don't think Jay is at Barstool. That's his
John Gruden, historical head coach, is at Barstool. The one who got canceled from coaching the Raiders. He's the one at Barstool.
I thought it was the former Commanders coach.
No. So he got into a scandal with the Commanders owner. That was how the whole shit with Dan Snyder started, was because their emails got leaked from like 2002, where they were being racist as shit. about players. Like the comments they were making about like player profiles were just like racist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're right. You're right.
Check me.
It is John who's at Barstool. So then
I think his account liked a booty pic. It turned out to be one of like the producers that runs his account at Barstool for him.
who's the one that's made
it was one of his horn dog producers that was like
correct
scrolling on booty pics.
So it was that was John's account, not Jay's, right? Yes,
correct.
okay.
John's,
and
yeah.
then which is the one that was like making like goofy ass like TikToks? Was that was John as well?
Yes,
Probably.
that's John. Yeah.
I
The
thought
one
it was
who
Jay
said-
the whole. Okay.
Yeah, the one that said that's got me feeling nicey.
Yeah, that's John. Okay, I had that backwards. I thought it was Jay this whole time because I thought John was
Yeah,
still fucking
Jay's his
exiled.
younger brother. He coached the Commanders for a couple years.
Gotcha. Okay.
Or assistant coached or something, yeah.
Got it. All right. Well, that's all the time that we've got for you tonight. Catch us. We're gonna record Thursday night, so we'll be dropping Friday, just in time before the NBA playoffs. So leave a comment.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, leave us a comment. Let us know what you think, and we'll see you in the next episode. Peace.